Hello. Today I've got to do some work on my Mini. A little bit of an unexpected video this, but yeah, I've got a loose bolt. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Let me just show you why I've got a loose bolt and what we got to do. Well, this loose bolt I discovered when I was checking the fan belt tension. The fan belt started slipping, so I adjusted it, and then I grabbed the alternator pulley. You see that slight bit of movement there? All three pulleys are moving. I don't know, let me see if I can poke the camera through the grill. Is it going to focus there? Oh no, yes. So look at the crank pulley, look. I think the crank pulley is moving on the crank. But so I want to see if I can actually feel that bolt. I can't get my fingers down there though, that's the problem. But it looks like I've got to move the take the rad out, take everything off of this side, you know, just to get to that crank pulley bolt so I can tighten it. I'm not quite sure. Like I say, I want to be able to feel that bolt to see if it is physically really loose or not. I have no idea, but anyway, I think I've got to do it anyway. So I've got to take the rad out. So let's start draining water and disconnecting things. What to do is drop all the coolant, and I've got a suitable bucket to hopefully catch most of it. The easiest way to drop the coolant is to undo the bottom radiator hose, which you can just see there, and pop that off the rad. That should drain pretty much the whole system. So got to get a nice long screwdriver down on that clip and undo that. But first of all, I've got to jack the car up a bit because I can't get my nice clean bucket under there. Let me just jack the car up. So we've got the car jacked up, and before anyone says, "Oh, you're jacking it on the floor," that is right under the bottom of the roll cage. No, this door's not open, but trust me, it's under the bottom foot of the roll cage where it's welded to the floor, so that's plenty strong enough. Right, let's see if we can place this somewhere where it's going to catch most of the fluid. We can only see. Right, let me find a screwdriver and we'll undo that clip and hope for the best. Well, that's the clip done, and I caught a fair bit, so not too bad, but it's cleaned off the under tray nicely anyway, so there's nice big bits of blacky oily stuff in there. So next thing, I'm going to undo these two bolts, so that separates the rad from the thermostat housing. I've undone this clip here, got that hose off, and the next thing is the real awkward one to do, is that bolt. Don't think I'm going to get very close in there. Oh yeah, there we go. So yeah, we've got to undo that little bolt to disconnect the rad cowling from the bottom bracket. But then I believe, oh I don't know, I think I might be able to get that nut without removing the actual engine mount. Oh, hope so, because that engine mount's a pain if you have to take that out. Right, so let's see if we can get the rad out next. Damn seagulls, so noisy. Well, the radiator's out. Let me see if I can show you this. This is going to be cool. Oh shit, just hit my head on the bloody bonnet. Forever doing that, bloody minis. Let me see if I can. Here we go, look. Oh dear, oh, someone forgot to tighten that up. That someone was me. Whoops. So let's see if I can get a socket on there now without taking that bottom engine mount off. Ah, sorry, thought I had the camera around the other way. You don't want to look at me, do you? Cool, it's going to be tight, isn't it? I hope so. I hope I can get a socket in there. Right, let me give it a try. Here boys, check this out. I don't know if you're gonna, should be able to see this. Yes, my fan is on the right way round. Look, I've just taken my rad out Oh dear, somebody left the bolt loose. Right, so as you saw before, the rad is out. I showed you the loose nut down the bottom there, but now the problem I've got, let me try and hold the camera a better way. Right, now the problem I've got is, I can't really show you. I can't get that socket on square because this bracket is in the way. So now we've got to lift the engine up, and to do that I've got to remove the sump guard. But luckily for me, when I fitted it all on studs. So all I've got to do is undo 4 of these nuts, the studs will stay there, and the sump guard should just drop down easily. Cool, back in a tick. Let's get that sump guard off. And I'll show you what I mean. Bit of one-handed spannering. Ooh, just doing up tight though. See if I can get the other end on it now. That's it, that's nice and loose. And there we go, so it leaves the stud there. I can't move it yet because I've got to undo the other 3, but let me undo the other 3 and let's pull this thing off. Yay, then get a jack underneath it. Yay, that's that off. Ain't sump guards brilliant? They stop oil leaks. Well, they catch oil leaks and then direct it all the way over to one side, so it only leaks in one space. Then you only think you've got one oil leak. That's great, isn't it, eh? Buy a sump guard, it stops oil leaks. Just stuck the jack under the corner of the sump there. I thought I'd bring you in on a bit of nature now. Look, there's a little fly having a rest. See, my car serves many purposes. It assists nature, gives flies that final resting space. Let me show you through here. Old camera, get in the hole. So as you can see, there's my earth lead there. I've got to undo that bolt, and I've got to undo the bolt underneath it to move this mount out the way, and that's a little bit tricky. So where's my socket bar? There we go. Let's get my socket on the end of it, and I can get to that one reasonably easy. Can I undo it though with a 1/4 drive socket? No. Some bugger's done that up tight. Why didn't you do the bloody crank bolt up that tight? Daft, isn't it? Right, let's see if we can just shift it a little bit. No, 3/8 drive it is. Let's upgrade. But I've just torqued up the nut now, 76 pound-feet. And I did wonder how I was going to lock the engine up. So I took the crankcase breather off with a thought, could I stuff anything down there to lock the flywheel up or anything? But of course, no. Of course you can't get to anything in there, can you? So I've got to put that back on in a minute. So what I did, because I got the engine jacked up and that wheel's off the floor, I used my line lock. I stuck it in for 3rd gear, stuffed my foot on the brake as hard as I could, locked the brake on that wheel, and I torqued the nut up, and yeah, it went really easy. So happy days. Now I've just got to put it all back together. And it's such a nice day out here, as you can see, blue skies all round, and there's that that thing up in the sky. That's hot. It's burning my head. So, and being fat ain't good fun, you know. Makes all this water leak out your head. Right, so let's see if we can get the engine back on them 2 mounts. Because as you can see there, that's how much I had to lift the engine just to clear that crank pulley bolt. So, right, let's see if I can lower it down and line them back up again, because I remember when I put the engine in, that was a bastard to do. So wish me luck. I will be back in your time in a nanosecond, but I may have struggled, I may not. I will let you know in 2 seconds. Right, I thought I'd bring you back in on this problem. As you can see, the top bolt is about half a hole out. The other bottom one, I can actually get the bolt in. So I'm going to have to stick a lever or something by the end of the crank pulley and the end of that mount just over there. See if I can point. It's probably going to be impossible. That's a horrible finger. Well, you get the point, you know. So I'm going to have to try and lever it over a little bit just to try and get that bolt in. I think the bottom one will go in all right. Noisy buggers, aren't they? You keep interrupting me. Well, they're both in. I did struggle a little bit. It took me about 15 minutes. It's not too bad. Next, let's get the rad bracket back in. That one. Put that back on. And then get the rad back in. Well, while I'm at it, I'm going to clean the rad out. As you can see, all that black stuff on it. It's a mixture of probably oil and fan belt rubber, I reckon. So let me just get the airline, clean the rad off before it goes back in. It's probably a sensible thing to do. Right, so we've now got everything bolted back in, pipes connected. I've just put a little bit of antifreeze in it, just got to put some water in it. But at least the fault is fixed. That no longer moves. So yeah, just top it up with water, start it up, and go for a spin. So, well, that's a little bit of a video for you. Wasn't that exciting, I know, but at least I'm showing you everything that I cock up and what goes wrong. So now you know. If you ever leave your crank pulley bolt loose, as long as it doesn't wreck the end of the crankshaft, you can tighten it up, and that's what you've got to do. So, bye-bye for now. See you on the next video. Who left the nuts loose? Ooh, 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 ooh.